Salve discipuli. Hello, 8th grade, and welcome to Latin class for this week. So this is going to be a video lesson kind of going over the translation passage for this week. So my remote students will be familiar with this, and my in-person students, I think we might have done this once or twice last semester as well. So this first video, part 1, is going to be going over the Latin, just reading through the Latin of this passage, going over some of the bonus vocabulary, giving a few hints about the grammar and stuff like that. Then after you watch this video, you're going to translate this passage, just write it down on a piece of paper, leave some space in between each line for corrections as needed. So you're going to translate this passage, and then once you finish translating it, you will watch part 2 of the video where I'll walk through the translation itself. You can make corrections on your translation that you did, and then once you finish that, you're going to email me or submit on Google Classroom a picture of your translation of your translated and corrected passage. Okay, so that's the deal for this week. We do have some Zoom meetings this Thursday for Red Path and Friday for Blue Path, so make sure that you attend that if at all possible, please. We're going to just kind of be reviewing our verbs, going over some grammar, and talk a little bit about the passage together in person and how you guys are, how we're going to be doing this semester. So hopefully I'll get to see you guys in person next week, but for now, this is what we're working with. So let's zoom in. Oh, I need to move my face a little bit. So 1 second. Let's move me over here. We're going to zoom in. Okay, so just kind of have me off to the side here. So we have, this passage is Decens. Decens is a name, obviously, because it's capital letter. There's capital letter, it's going to be a name of either person or place. So let's take a look at some of the bonus vocabulary to start. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust where I want my face to be. All right, so we have plauserunt. Plauserunt is applauded. This is a past tense. So again, remember, we've learned the perfect and imperfect tenses. And in this chapter, we're really focusing on the perfect tense and some stem changes that happen in the perfect tense. So plaudo, plaudere, plausi is the verb to applaud. So plaus with that S change in the stem is a perfect tense. So plauserunt, they applauded. Hospites is our Latin word for guests. Tacebant, that means they were silent. Hospites is where we get like hospitality from. It's related to that. Tacebant, that's a ba, that's our imperfect tense verb. They were silent, right? Aliam is going to mean another. Hercle, this means by Hercules, so it's like an exclamatory. So Hercle, by Hercules, or good heavens in that sort of a sense. Mortuus, mortuus means dead. This is where we get words like mortician or mortuary from. So interesting things are happening in this chapter. Primus means first. It's where prime comes from. Gladiatorem, this is gladiator. It's the accusative case of the direct object. Prope amphitheatrum, right? This is near the amphitheater. This is where the amphitheater, the word amphitheater comes from. Prope means near. It's a preposition. We're going to do a lesson on prepositions soon. I think I've been promising you guys that for a little while, but we are going to do it soon. Secundus, this means second. Looks like the word second, so that's helpful. Teruit. This is from our verb tereo, terere, terui. So this is, again, a perfect tense where there's a little bit of a stem change. Teruit means frightened. Not as in I am frightened, as in someone frightened something else, right? So it's an action here. Gladium is our word for sword. It's related to the word gladiator. A gladiator is someone who wields a sword. There's different types of gladiators that use different weapons, but gladium means sword. Vibrabat, this means was brandishing or was waving, another ba imperfect tense there. I believe this is also related to the word vibrating in like a movement sense. In arena, This means in the arena. Arena is where we get arena from. Insanus. Insanus means insane or crazy, and it looks like it. So there you go. Homo is our Latin word for man, right? So Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens literally means intelligent man, right? Wise man. Sapiens, sapientis is relating to wisdom. Eum means him. Traxit is dragged. Notissimus means very well known. Vivit is alive. Vivo vivere, or vivo vivere, like vivacious is like a word related to that in English. And then umbra, we actually learned this when we did our Halloween vocabulary for Winko. So umbra is ghost. We might have learned a different word for ghost. No, I think I did this one. Umbra, it means ghost, or it can mean shade or shadow. Kind of an interesting word. All right, so I'm going to read through the Latin of this passage, and then again, you will be translating it after we've done. So we have a little introduction, and then it's dialogue, which is always fun. Postquam Felix fabulam narravit, omnes plauserunt. So remember what happened in the previous passage that you were supposed to translate last week. It was a fabula mirabilis. It was a story, right? Felix was telling a story. So postquam Felix fabulam narravit, omnes plauserunt. Tum hospites tacebant, et aliam fabulam expectabant. Subito clamorem audiverunt. Omnes ad atrium festina verunt, ubi Clemens stabat. So I think in the last passage, Clemens was sent to go find someone, right? He's sent to go find Decens, I believe. So keep that in mind as we're going through. So now we're going to have a dialogue between some of the people, Caecilius and then Clemens and some slaves. Caecilius says, Hercle, quid est? Cur tu clamorem facis? Clemens says, Decens, Decens. Caecilius, quid est? Clemens, Decens est mortuus. And then omnes, everyone, quid mortuus? Eheu! Duo servi and intrant. Caecilius asks, quid dicis? Servus primus, Dominus meus ad villam tuam veniebat, Dominus gladiatorem prope amphitheatrum conspexit. Servus secundus, the second slave, gladiator dominum teruit, quod gladium in gentem vibrabat, tum gladiator clamavit, tu me non teres, Leo, tu me non teres. Leones amicum meum in arena necaverunt, sed tu me non teres. Servus primus says, Decens valde timebat, tu es insanus, inquit Dominus, ego non sum Leo, sum homo. Servus secundus says, gladiator tamen dominem ferociter petivet, et eum ad amphitheatrum traxit. Dominus per territus clamavit, Clemens clamorem audivit. Servus primus, Clemens, quod fortis erat, amphitheatrum intravit, decentem in arena conspexit. Dominus meus erat mortuus. Metella says, ego rem intellego, gladiator erat pugnax, pugnax erat gladiator notissimus, pugnax olim in arena pugnabat, et Leo pugnacem necavit, pugnax non vivit, pugnax est umbra, umbra decentem necavit. Really would have been great to be reading this this chapter around Halloween, unfortunately because of getting caught up from last year, but this chapter would have been perfect around Halloween time. So kind of an exciting passage here, exciting dialogue going on here. So do your best to translate Use Cambridge Elevate to help you, right? There's the explore the story function that you can use to look up vocab that you're unfamiliar with. Please use that as opposed to using Google Translate. Google Translate is not reliable, but your online textbook is. So do your best to figure out what's going on here. Pay attention to your verbs. We've got some verbs of you doing something. And then we've got different tenses. So pay attention to whether it's imperfect with the ba, I'm going to translate it as was or were verbing. And then if it's got the perfect tense, which most of these are going to be perfect tenses, not present tenses. I don't think there's really any present tenses in here. So make sure you're translating perfect tenses as a simple past tense. So pay attention to that, make sure it makes sense, and have some fun with this one. It's kind of an exciting one. So do your best translating it. Use the online dictionary and the online textbook, the explore the story function for help with unfamiliar vocab, or use these. Write down your translation, and then have your translation with you ready to watch part 2 of the video. So once you have your translation done, go ahead and check out part 2, and I will see you there. Walete discipuli.